Finding the builders. Where do you even start? Hey friends, welcome to the Creative Business Mindset and the business of homestaging. If we haven't met, my name is Joke. I am the founder of Genesis Homestaging based in the Seattle area. I used to be a real estate agent and I am the board of the director of Real Estate Staging Association. This channel is all about giving you all the goods. Okay, homestagers, the dream is to land the big fish. I am talking about builders and developers because why not? It gives you continuous repeat business, keeps your pipelines full, and you don't have to worry about where the business is coming from. Once you are able to develop a relationship with a builder or two or a few, but how do you even start? Where do you go to find them? The big question. I'll be answering that and all of the things you need to know about working with builders because I work with a few myself. Okay, everything I know about starting, growing, and running a homestaging business. I have been doing this for going on 7 years now, and I've been an agent for about 11 years. So combined, I have more than 20 years experience in business, real estate, and staging. So let's get into it. Finding the builders. Where do you even start? I have been known to go around in my neighborhood. If I see a new construction sprouting up, I go on there, I walk onto the site, I ask for the superintendent and I ask them who is in charge, who is the builder. I get their information, or you can get it off a signboard, whatever. However, that's one of the ways that I find them, okay? And then the other way that you can find them is going to home shows in your neighborhood. Every city has one. The Seattle Home Show has been going on for like as long as I've been in the city, and I've been attending them whenever I can. And I know that, builders, they're always there, and you can exchange your information, introduce yourself to them, set up meetings and all of that. Those are the ways that you can find them. You could also find them through your agents. There are agents who work with builders only, and they have site agents. Apart from going to site, go to model homes, visit model homes in your area, new construction model homes, and meet the site agent. And you will find very quickly there are some builders that are national builders. They are big time builders like the Tri Points, like the RM Homes and stuff like that. I don't know whatever is in your area, Murray Franklin. And those are really big, and they tend to have in-house design departments, and they stage their own houses. So those are not the ones you want to go after. You want the smaller ones, the mom and pop builders. That is your target. So once you find them, what are the expectations? Because the way that you work with homeowners and real estate agents is totally different from the way you would approach a B2B, business to business. You're a business, they're a business, which means think about it. You have your own process of how you work. The builders, the company, they also have a process of how they work. So whose process do you adopt? They're very, very strict about their process. I have to let you know that. The things that can put you ahead is you have to be a professional business, meaning you have your business registration, you have your EIN, you have your business license, and you have insurance. Then you're ready to do business with a builder, because otherwise they're not even going to give you audience, okay? So you need all those things lined up. And then now you have that, think about the pricing and logistics. I know this gets me all the time because every time the builders, they spend all the money building all these beautiful houses, but when it comes to staging, they really, really want to scheme, but they still want the best. They want it to look like a model home, but they don't want to spend too much money. And you will always hear, they will tell you with the promise of future business. Oh, we're going to give you volume, we're going to give you a lot of business, so give us your rock bottom price. Don't fall for it. You still need to be profitable. Whatever you do, you're not just covering the basis, that you're actually profitable. They are business owners. They're going to make money from that home. You need to make money from whatever you do in this situation. Okay, so they will tell you, my own answer to that is that loyalty is earned. So give me business today. I will charge what makes sense to me. Profitability makes sense. I'll charge what makes sense on this first project. If you give me more projects and continue to give me more projects, then we can now talk about earned loyalty discounts or builder pricing, as they call it. Okay, so that is one thing to put in your back pocket. Loyalty is earned. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not going to hand it to you just because you promised me more business in the future. What if it never comes? Today, what's in front of me is what I see and what I believe, and I'm going to act on that. Okay, they have very, very high standards. As you can imagine, it's a model home, it's brand new, everything needs to be pristine. And be aware that you may need to come back and change things out if they are not really happy with it. They may even give you like real serious stringent guidelines, like these are the kinds of furniture we want. We don't want this, we don't want that. So for me, it is high demand, demanding, not high demand in terms of more business, but very demanding, and it's very specific. For me, it means that I am doing a little more. I am bending over backwards. I don't want to break. So I am going to make sure that it is actually worth my while, what I'm going to be doing for them. But you'll find that those two things are not quite matching because they want what they want at this high price, but they don't want to pay as much. So you have to do the song and the dance, crunch the numbers, and make sure that it works for you. Another thing is that they may want specific kind of furniture, not because you don't have what will work, but hear me out. When they build houses for sale, model homes, sometimes they have like several homes, right? Which is a good thing because it means business for you. But it also means that you're going to be doing model moves. When one model sells, you have to move the stuff to the next home. So what happens? How do you price that? How do you handle that? Because think about it, you're moving stuff, you're not just charging them for moving. Make sure you cover that. That is the basic, right? Cover the moving cost if you're going to bring your movers, if it requires trucking, because even if it's within the same street, even if it's next door, somebody still has to physically carry the furniture, plant it in the next house, and not just plant it like move like a mover. You have to go in and reset everything. Even if you're using the same thing, you're still gonna, so make sure you're covering your labor and time, and then you're covering, you know, if you have third-party movers, make sure you're covering the moving costs for that. So you need to make sure they have a solid contract of what that is going to look like. And remember that you're also going to sign their own contract. Make sure that it makes sense for you. They may be wanting you to do things different from how you would normally handle it. That is totally up to you because you are the business owner, and that's why you're in business. You call the shots and you decide what works for you, who you want to work with, what your business model is, and what your process is. But you cannot be too rigid if you want that account. At the same time, you don't have to sell your soul to the devil to get it, you know, because you need to make money. Okay, so the big thing is that if they need you to buy furniture for them, specifically for their property, there are different ways that they could structure it. Some builders will actually have the furniture, they've bought the furniture, they just need your design service to come and put it together. Make sure that you're asking the right questions. One big question is, who is buying the furniture? Are you buying it or are they buying it? If they're buying it, is it coming ready to install? So you don't get to staging and ready to start assembling things. Assembly of furniture, if you've ever done it, it's a whole process and it takes on a life of its own if you are not prepared for it. And if you want to do that on the day of, it can take half the time. So make sure that you ask those questions. The furniture, where is it located? Does it need to be moved? Who is doing the moving? So you can charge appropriately. If your people are going to move it from one place to another, maybe it's in the garage, maybe whatever, they still needs to be moved and placed where it is. So think about that. And if they are requiring you to do the purchase on their behalf, number one, collect your money 100% upfront, because you're going to be buying furniture for somebody. You shouldn't be fronting that. They should pay you 100% of what it's going to cost to acquire the furniture, plus your own markup or whatever it is. Industry is like, 25% to 50%. If you're buying trade, you buy trade price, which means you're getting it at wholesale price. You will need to mark it up to make it make sense, because you're going to be doing all that work. You charge a sourcing fee of what it would take, the time. Imagine sourcing, buying furniture for a whole house. How much time is involved with that? That is not just your time, it is also your expertise. So you're charging for the time, the expertise, to make sure that you're getting them what they need, and you are getting paid for your time. If you are doing the sourcing, the question you should also ask is, where are the items going to be stored? First of all, receiving. Who receives them? Because imagine sitting in your own house or your warehouse and things are being delivered to site. Who is receiving them? Where are they being stored? And why does that matter? You are in charge. They have entrusted this to you. So make sure that you're planning accordingly, because how do you manage that? My own recommendation is to have the stuff delivered either to your warehouse. If you have a warehouse, you can have a receiving center. If you don't have a warehouse, there are receiving warehouses where they will receive the stuff on your behalf. They will even open it, unpack it, and make sure that all the parts are there, nothing is missing, nothing is broken, because you just never know. You don't want to arrive to the house on the day only to find out that there are broken parts, there are missing parts, and what do you do? So somebody needs to be in charge of that, and it is time intensive. Make sure that you're planning the time to receive, check and make sure everything is there, where to store it, and if you're storing it on their behalf, you should be charging for the storage. Charge for your time to source and your expertise. Mark up the item, make sure that you have a place to receive it, somebody to check for the parts, somebody to assemble, and charge for all those things. So getting a builder account can be one of the smartest things you do for your business, because like I said, it's B2B, it's repeat business, it's guaranteed business if you have a good relationship with them. But it can also take a lot out of you if you don't think about these things ahead of time and make sure that you are setting up yourself for a profitable venture. Because at the end of the day, what is it all about? You're not running a charity. They are not running a charity. They're going to hit their bottom line plus profit, and you should too. Okay? All right, my friends, that's it from me for today. Thanks for watching. And if you have any questions or need some coaching or guidance on how to start, scale, grow your home staging business, reach out to me, businessofhomestaging.com. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.